Hi there. I'm Yashika Gold. Welcome in, welcome in. And of course, you know you've entered into Money Manners. What do we do at Money Manners? We talk about and pull apart the emotions behind money. There is a Fed score that I am an advocate for. I firmly believe that when we learn how to manage our financial emotional discipline, when we learn that we actually have a financial emotional discipline, we're better able to handle our own personal finances. Does this mean that we don't need a financial advisor? Absolutely not. Not saying that. But many of us can't even afford a financial advisor. So we want to get to the point where we are understanding money. We're not afraid of money. We're not withdrawn. We're not just ignoring it and hiding from our responsibilities and the accountability. And certainly don't feel any type of way. None of us were actually prepared for this segment in our lives, unfortunately. Many of us, most of us, anyone who went through the school system, you honestly, I know 90%. Why don't you just let me know down in the box there? Just post whether or not you received an education on how to handle your finances. Go ahead, let me know. In K through 12 or any of that, if you anything outside of economics, if you even got that far, algebra, geometry, I feel like those classes could have been replaced with some financial management courses that were required, and they weren't in our educational system. So basically, we were set up and thrown out to the wolves, so to speak. No offense for anyone who may be taking it, but actually we were thrown out to the wolves. By the time we got to college, credit cards were thrown at us, and we were able to easily sign up. We were not accustomed to managing money in college. That was something that our parents did. And oftentimes, I do recall it being some sort of mannerism, if you will, not to even talk about money. Well, those days are over, and we're going to get rid of them. We're going to explore some of the emotions, as many as we can, the emotions that are behind how we handle our money. So let's get started. One of the things, our topic today, what I wanted to really talk about is I hear this quite frequently. I can't save money. I can't save money. And just to be honest, I heard this from someone who's really close to me. I heard them say, I can't save money. I can't save. But you absolutely can. If, in fact, we did gain the education that we needed in school, one of the things that it would have shown us is to set money aside as a habit. So I want to address our habits today, because when someone says they can't save money, it really has to do with, it's not a mannerism. It's not anything that you're accustomed to. It's not a habit that you've created. Now, let's talk about some of our habits. Some of us will, without fail, we rise up in the morning, some with an alarm clock, some without an alarm clock. We automatically, without anyone telling us, that's one of our habits, okay? That's what we're going to identify as a habit. Without anyone saying a thing, we turn on the coffee pot, we get the coffee prepared, we're going to brush our teeth, we're going to take a shower. And I know I'm talking about savings. Absolutely. Savings should be that mechanical, robotic, and habitual in our lives. And does it need to be a specific amount? Yeah, it can be the amount that is comfortable for you. So we'll go from $1 up to $1,000 every time you get a pay. Every time money comes into your hands, if you're self-employed, you need to stick something away and forget about it. You need to begin to do that. The emergencies, you're the one responsible. You're the one responsible. Therefore, it is a requirement. It's something that you have to do. Just like we manage to take care of our health. When we want to become more healthy, let's just say that we want to be more healthy, we want to be more health conscious about what we eat and what we don't eat. All of that takes discipline. And so when I tell you about the financial emotional discipline, it's a discipline. It's what we do without without anyone kind of telling us. It's a discipline. We've developed it. So we're going to develop a discipline of being comfortable in speaking about money, comfortable in saying when, we have our money losses or wins, if you will. We want to become comfortable with dealing with the fact I have too much credit card debt and I have to figure out I have to dig myself out of it. I have to become accountable for what I'm doing. I have to learn what is leverage if you want to be a business owner. You have to learn the language. You have to learn the language. There's no way you would go to another country and not prepare to learn how to speak and communicate at least the basic language that is appropriate in that particular location. There's no way you'll do that. And so money has that type of language. It has a language. It has mannerisms. There are mannerisms that come with it. And there are things that we should do without thinking and it not be painful. It is not painful to save. You can save. One thing I do not want to hear ever again is that I can't save. Yes, you can. You can save. You can not say if you can stop eating the chips. If you can start drinking more water for your health, you can begin to have your finances become healthy. You can begin to stick aside, let's say, $10. How much is lunch every day when you go out? DoorDash. Oh, we can find it. Just a little bit. Did I say stop DoorDashing? No. Continue to DoorDash. Maybe DoorDash on maybe a little bit less. Find something that's a little bit maybe $10 or $20 cheaper and stick that aside. You have to begin to set your mind to I need to take care of me. I need to learn how to do it. And not just for yourself, you're learning also so that you can teach your children. This is how we build legacy. This is how wealth is created. So that's all I wanted to say today. I want you to focus on you can save. Find out what is your comfortability? What are you comfortable in putting aside and not even thinking about it? What would you give to someone standing on the side of the road if you were giving help? If they were asking for help, how they have the street signs on and they're holding them and they're in need. And how often do you do that? Am I saying stop doing that? Absolutely not. But I need you to begin to think about you. Think about what you can set aside and you're comfortable with, and then don't even look at it again. Can you utilize some of your auto pays, or auto deductions, your auto deductions in your job? Some of them have, what are they? Of course, the 401ks, but some of them are even more advanced than that, where you can automatically have the 401k draft out, and you may already be enrolled in that. That's not what I'm speaking of. I'm talking about that emergency fund. I'm talking about having money on hand and not just credit. I'm talking about learning how to utilize the credit, to your advantage, and understand, don't be afraid of credit. Don't abuse credit. And sometimes those are the things that we do, and it gets us in trouble. So we have to become comfortable. We have to become comfortable with being responsible for our money. And so I'm going to leave it there, but your challenge until the next time we speak and see each other, your challenge is to find your comfort spot. Find your comfort spot, even if it's $5. Start off small, even if it's $1. Put it aside and forget about it. Get a little lockbox in your house, and just every time you get a pay, you commit yourself to $5, $10, $20 comfortable, and then just go on with your life. And do that every pay. Every pay. Give yourself something. I know that I said I was going to let you go. I know that many times most people understand, if you're a churchgoer, I absolutely love the Lord. I absolutely do. You'll learn that about me. And many of my things will be scriptural based. I don't know if I always share it on this segment or not, but definitely will know that most things that I am sharing with you or will share with you certainly comes from the scriptures. And so I do know that we're firm believers in tithing, that we would give that 10%, and we're giving that 10% as a way of worshiping and our commitment to the Most High God. However, you identify that entity in your life, but the 10% is automatic. And then I know there are many money experts, as they would call themselves, that say you give the 10% to tithing, and you also give 10% to yourself, whatever your figure is, whatever you're comfortable with. And sometimes we can't do the 10% because we're just so far extended. Bills are coming left and right. And so I'm into the emotions. I'm into keeping it real. Let's be real about where we are. If you're overextended on your credit, you're not going to be able to do a whole bunch of savings. I know there are many that say, well, if you can't save if you owe. I'm telling you, you need emergency something, $100, $1,000 we can build up. You have to have cash and understand that is the beginning of your foundation to be able to have cash on hand. And then as time goes on, we'll deal with this credit. We'll deal with getting our credit down. But what I want, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to eliminate the thought process that I can't save. You absolutely can save. You will save. Your money life depends on it. The management of your home depends on it. Your children's legacy depends on you developing a muscle of being able to save, no matter how small. Save, because we're going to have to pay the bill. We know that. But begin to develop the muscle of saving. You have to learn it. All right. That's it for now. I'll check back with you. I want to know how you're doing, maybe even what your amount is, how you begin to feel knowing that money is just set aside. We have to build that muscle of being able to save. Build up that muscle. Just like you would do your squats to build up your thigh muscle, we're going to build up our financial muscle in being able to save. This will begin to give you strength in your spirit, in your mind, in your soul, whether you believe it or not. Yes, the Most High does come first, but he teaches us to be wise with that in which he entrusts us to. So we're going to begin to learn how to stick a little bit to the side, especially if you're taking care of households, you're a parent, even if you're single, just be able to support yourself. All the more, be able to support yourself and know that you have that money set aside. $1, $2, $3, $4, $5, whatever it is that you need to put to the side, begin to work your muscle. That's it for me, honestly, for real this time. Thank you for joining me in Money Manners, and stay tuned. And we'll get into the FED score, the Financial Emotional Discipline score. We're going to learn that, and I'm telling you, it is more important than that credit score. Take care.